Hi, Lydia. How are you? Hi, Tammy. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I'm wondering if this is the best time to do these lives. I just don't know. We'll see. Yesterday, we had quite a few people on, and then quite a few people actually watched it afterwards, which was kind of nice. So that's really good. I love it when you guys can show up in person because there's just more interaction and I can answer questions and that's always good and helpful. Um, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and oh, thanks, Lydia. Lydia says, I'm great. I hope you are too. Hi, Elizabeth. I am. I am a little stressed out. Other than that, I'm always a little stressed out, but that's okay. Yeah. Hi, Sylvia. Do you know what I'm stressing about? There's a number of things, but one is our garden. Like our garden just didn't do very well this year, and it's kind of embarrassing because, I talk about gardening. And it just I don't know, it just didn't ever really take off. In fact, our tomatoes only just started getting ripe, which is really weird. Really, really weird. And I was talking to one of our friends, and he owns a landscape type business. He said that everybody that he's talked to this year has not had a good garden. Tammy says same thing. Leon says hi and thank you for all your help. You're so welcome, Leonie. And hi, Lynn. Welcome and so glad you're here. So yeah, you. It's it's crazy and it's a little worrisome. So hopefully it's not to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but hopefully it's not something going on out there. Hopefully it's just a weird year. But oh, Elizabeth, I'm so glad you're here too. I know I really appreciate. I was just saying a few minutes ago that I love it when you guys make it to the lives and have questions because that makes it so much more interactive. And I really, really love answering your questions if I can, and just giving you just a little boost into the herbalism world. Sometimes that's just all we need. And I know, like yesterday, I shared a little bit about, when I first started learning herbalism about 20 years ago or so, the internet wasn't really much of a thing yet. I mean, it was there, but there was no information, and especially no information on herbalism. And so it's been quite the journey for me, for sure. Thanks, Joe. Joe says, hello, sweetie. That's so nice. And Faith Over 50 says, down south in Mississippi, we had bumper crops of fruit and our garden did great. Hopefully it will be better up there next year. I'm so glad to hear that there are places where the gardens are going really well. Yeah, up here it's just been very, very interesting. But all right, so today, yay, Carrie, you made it. Awesome. So today we're going to go ahead and just kind of continue on the conversation from yesterday. I don't know how long we'll be on here. It may not, uh, be an hour or whatever, but I just want to do another comparison of a couple of other over-the-counter drugs that are very common and take a look at. We're going to dive in a little deeper today, I think, than we did yesterday, but we're going to be taking a look at the side effects, the cost. We're going to do a cost analysis and just talk about shelf life a little bit and just do a comparison, straight across the board. And I think that's just really valuable to do. Hi, Patty. I'm good to see you here on the live. All right, but before I dive into all of that, oh, hey, Nada from Florida. Awesome. Oh my goodness, you're experiencing a hurricane? Wow. Well, I hope you guys are all safe down there. Oh, I had no idea. I don't really watch the news. I'm sort of proud and both embarrassed to admit. But the reason I don't watch the news is because I just can't take the negativity anymore. It just hurts my heart and it messes my head up. And when you're teaching people and you're interacting with people a lot, I feel like I just have to stay as positive as I can. So, anyway, I want to invite you to a free training next week, a free workshop I'm doing. It'll be the last one for this year. And we're going to be talking about the 5 best herbs for your home apothecary. Um, I'm working on changing the workshop just a little bit for you. But if you haven't seen this, it's well worth it because we take a look at 5 herbs that are really easy to find, even if your garden didn't do well. You can find these in the grocery store, and you can grow them all really, really easily. But these happen to be herbs that are culinary type herbs that also have a lot of medicinal values and attributes. So we talk about those, and then we also discuss practical ways you can use them in your home for your health. And it comes with this book. And this book also contains some recipes and remedies. It's 29 pages. So I'm going to put the link in here for you. And you are welcome to go sign up. I'm only doing it twice next week. Sometimes I'll do it 3 times, but I'm only going to do it twice. Again, it's the last series for the rest of the year. I do have a replay for you. So if you can't make it live, be sure to register and save your seat, because that way you'll at least get the replay, and then you can watch it that way too for a couple of days. All right. So yesterday we talked about some a holistic mindset versus an allopathic mindset. We talked about just that's basically the way doctors think about, or those with medical backgrounds think about our health and wellness, versus those of us who are in the alternative health um, and health and wellness areas. And we tend to think we think a lot if we're good. I think we think about health and wellness holistically. And what that means is just a quick review here. If you're coming from the medical side of things, and I even see this with herbalists who have a medical background, a lot of times it's still very reductionistic. It's very symptom management based. It's not really, hey, let's get healthy based. And holistic thinking is more, you know what, we're a whole being, and we call it our terrain. Our terrain is our physical body, of course, but along with that physical body, there's our mind, there's our emotions, there's our spirit. All of this goes together: mind, body, spirit, our soul, our faith, the way we view the world. That has a lot to do with our health and wellness too. So we look at all of those things. With that said, herbs and essential oils can do amazing things for acute situations, like the kinds of things that you would want to go to the drugstore to get an over-the-counter drug for, like a headache or something like that. So yesterday we also talked about different ways to manage different kinds of pains specifically, and just took a little overview, a really high-level overview of how you would kind of think about even just headaches, like how you would think about a migraine headache versus a tension headache versus a headache caused by sinus pressure, or even a low pressure system in the weather coming through that can give people headaches as well. So we would handle those differently as herbalists and aromatherapists versus how a medical person would handle it. Just go pop that nasty, dangerous acetaminophen pill, right? And I love just sharing this information to people. And I've gotten some pretty shocked responses when I share this. But did you know that acetaminophen is the #1 killer of people with liver disease? It's not alcohol. Everybody thinks that it's people who drink too much alcohol. And yes, of course, alcohol is toxic to the liver and also the nervous system. But the truth is that it's acetaminophen. And acetaminophen is actually found in a lot of different products and drugs. It's not just found in, that very common pain reliever that starts with a T. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going to get going on my rant here, and I will try not to do that today. I want to invite you to put questions in the chat if you want to. Oh my goodness, I left my water in the other room too. But I wanted to just tell you, if you have questions that pop up, put them in the chat. If I am allowed to answer them legally, I will. All right. And to the best of my ability. So I just want to share that with you. I don't want you to be shy about asking. Some people are. And, and I know we're on social media right now. I want to just tell you, we do have an herbal membership that's on a private platform. And we talk about some really fun things in there. Thank you. All right. All righty. So let's talk about the first drug that we're going to be sharing today. And yesterday, somebody had asked about menstrual pains. And menstrual pain, as we know, is not fun. It can really be debilitating for a lot of people. Luckily, there are a number of different natural things that you can do for menstrual pain, and we're going to dive a little more deeply into that today. But here, I've got two different products. One's natural on this side. It's a menstrual cramp blend, and that's found in my book, Ditch the Drugstore, which is really pretty massive. And then on the other side, we've got Midol, okay, which I used to take like candy during that time when I was still, menstruating years and years ago before I found herbalism. And it always kind of made me feel kind of yucky. Gives you a little surge of energy because it's filled with caffeine and other things. But it basically, I think I had some of these side effects. So let's look at the side effects. Let's talk about the Midol product first. So we've got the price of a box of 24 gel caps is about $10.50, depending on where you live. And that's going to give you 12 doses or 12, probably, oh, I know, right? my life be like, I love your name. OMG, I Midol. Ugh, I hated taking it. I know, me too. It was awful. But what else are you going to do? I mean, that's just most people's options, right? That's all we know how to do. And it's not our fault. It's because the knowledge about using natural herbs and oils has been taken from us, and that's another topic. We can go into that too. But anyway, so 2 capsules is a dose. The cost per a dose is it's almost $1, okay, for a dose. It's about 87 cents. And let's talk side effects. So we've got drowsiness, dizziness, dry mouth, constipation, blurry vision, faster heart rate, liver damage. Shelf life is 1 to 5 years. And just want to talk about more side effects, and there's actually more. And by the way, this information comes from either the manufacturer's website or the bottle or the container, or it comes from WebMD. So that's where I'm pulling this information. There is warnings on the box that says liver warning. This product contains acetaminophen. Severe liver damage may occur if you take it. More than 6 caplets in 24 hours, which, you know what? I've known women who just take it like seriously, like candy, because you've got pain and it hurts. And it says that's the maximum daily amount for this product. My question is, what if you're also taking Tylenol, or what if you're also taking another product that contains acetaminophen? And it says here, you don't want to do that. How many of you read the warnings on these boxes? Do you guys really read the box? I mean, I always wonder about that. I never did. I just read the dose and thought, okay, it's safe. It's being sold in the drugstore, and the government surely has my back on this. The FDA's approved it. It says you're not supposed to take alcohol while you're using this product. And allergy alert, acetaminophen may cause severe skin or severe allergic reactions. Symptoms may include skin reddening, blisters, rash, hives, facial swelling, asthma, or shock. Okay. I want to just tell you this. Back in the day, I had rosacea really, really bad. I mean, it was bad. And it started about the time that I started having my period. It just was getting going. And then by the time I was like 18 and 19, it was there. And all through my 20s, all through my 30s, I had this rosacea, and I was, of course, taking all these drugs. And I had been going to dermatologists, and of course, they were just putting me on antibiotics because that's what they do for acne situations like that. And finally, I went to a doctor who actually talked to me, and he said, "How long have you been taking all these things?" And I said, "Gosh, uh, 10, 15 years, maybe more." He says, "Heidi," he says, "your liver's got to be shot." He says, "And by the way, that might be why you're having trouble with your skin." And I just thought, oh my word, you know, so anyhow, I did take care of it. Look at my skin now. And I haven't had any trouble with my skin since about the time I was in my early 40s. So it's been almost 20 years now. And it's because of herbs and essential oils, to be honest, and getting off all this garbage. Okay, it says here that you are not supposed to take Midol if you are taking any other drug containing acetaminophen with prescription, that's either prescription or non-prescription. And it says if you're not sure whether a drug contains acetaminophen, you must ask a doctor or a pharmacist. How many of you guys ask your doctors or pharmacists if things contain acetaminophen? I never did. I didn't ever think about it. You're not supposed to use it if you've ever had an allergic reaction to this product or any of its ingredients. And you are not supposed to take it if you have liver disease, glaucoma, difficulty in urination, due to the enlargement of the prostate gland. Now, this is Midol. A breathing problem such as emphysema or chronic bronchitis. You're not supposed to take it if you're taking blood thinners, sedatives, or tranquilizers. It says that you might get drowsy, you might have some excitability. You need to be careful if you're driving a car if you're taking this. So obviously, we've got some things going on. This product contains a pain reliever, a diuretic, which is the caffeine, and an antihistamine. So that's what's in this product. Now, let's go ahead and compare that to the natural product. And by the way, like we spoke about yesterday, there are a number of natural products that you can take for menstrual cramping in that time of the month. You can take willow bark, which we compared to aspirin yesterday. You can take an essential oil massage rub. Can be really immensely helpful. You can actually take relaxing teas that are antispasmodic to the smooth muscles of the uterus that can be helpful. So there are things you can do where you're not putting these toxins into your body. We're going to talk about the menstrual cramp massage blend. And again, that's found in one of my books. But we looked at 1 ounce of olive oil. And by the way, an ounce of olive oil doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're using it as a massage blend on a small area, like your abdomen, it will last a while. It'll probably last 2 to 3 months, okay? You're going to use 5 drops of fennel essential oil. You're going to use 5 drops of clary sage essential oil and 10 drops of sweet marjoram essential oil, 10 drops of lavender, 5 drops of Roman chamomile. Now, there's a reason why you're using those specific oils, okay? The fennel tends, and the sweet marjoram as well, tend to be very, very muscle relaxant. They actually do go to work to relax the muscles of smooth tissue like the uterus. They're wonderful. Lavender and, let's see here, lavender and clary sage and the Roman chamomile are high in chemicals that are called esters. And there's different kinds of esters, but all of the ester family of chemicals are very, very relaxing and not to the point where you're going to go to sleep. They just help you deal with the pain response. And it's just really incredible how you start feeling when you use these. It's crazy. So the cost is $2. That's going to be about 17 applications or so. And let's now take a look at the cost per dose. So we just said the Midol was almost costing you $1 per dose. And you got 12 doses out of that box. That was almost $11. This cost us a total of $2 for 17 doses, you might get a little bit less out of that if you want to, apply a little bit more. But generally speaking, you're looking at about 10 cents a dose, all right? Instead of almost $1. There are no side effects to this. There are just none. It's amazing. And besides that, it smells good and you get compliments on how you smell. I know that from experience. The shelf life of this it's pretty indefinite. Actually, if you make up a stock blend of the essential oil and you keep that on hand, then you have that ready to go to drop into your carrier oil at any time. If you make up a batch, like an ounce or two, then it's going to last for however long that carrier oil is good, which is usually a year to 3 years. So it's got a very similar shelf life. And I just think that's amazing. So the cost difference for 24 doses, if you figure it all out, you're looking at about, for the natural, about $2.50. And for the drug, it's about $21. And that's for 24 doses. Again, you know what? Which would you rather take? Would you rather take the natural product that's a whole lot cheaper, that's super easy to make, super easy to get, has no side effects, and smells good? Or would you rather take the dangerous one that has a lot of side effects, a lot of warnings, and costs a lot more? And doesn't really, help you. The thing about the herbs and the essential oils is they actually go to work to help support the body in its natural healing process. And that's just amazing. And I'm going to scroll back up and see if we have any question. Like I said, you guys can put questions in the chat if you have any kind of herbal question or aromatherapy question or anything like that. Kimmy's from Australia. Hi, Kimmy. And LaDonna, hi. And Myra's here. Where do we purchase the book? It actually comes with one of our courses. I don't really sell it outside. And here's the why. I'm going to just talk about that for a minute. You guys can go to the bookstore and you can pick up any herbal book. I have hundreds of them over here in my bookshelves, by the way. And you can open it up and you can see all these recipes and remedies. And they're great. They're wonderful. However, mostly they're not usually broken down into subcategories in terms of use or need. So that's one issue. A lot of times they're by plant. Another issue with this, and this is where the allopathic mindset that we talked about at the beginning of this video and also yesterday, that's when that thing kicks in. What herb can I use for that situation? We don't want to think like that. We want to think about, okay, I have a headache. Why do I have a headache? And then you go to tackle the root cause and the headache goes away and you're healing your body. In terms of your menstrual cramping, of course, that's a very common natural thing that happens to younger women once a month. And we obviously want to handle the pain aspect. We want some comfort. So we want to choose something that's going to be comforting. But we also want to choose something that's going to really go to work in the body and help support what's actually going on. All right. Midol doesn't really make the cramps go away. It just covers the pain. Whereas something like the natural option over here helps to reduce the cramps, which is wonderful. So yeah, Myra says the warnings are usually in tiny print and can be many pages long. They are. It's crazy. Even if you read them, no one tells you that there is another option. Nobody does. And it's because we're not supposed to talk about this. No. Herbalism in modern developed countries is technically, and this is air quotes for those of you listening, illegal. All right, where it's illegal to practice. And I say that's illegal to practice as a medical alternative or a medical, health way of dealing with your health. So that's why we have all this strange language, because what we do is we support the body's natural healing process. So we tend to stop, and I think this is such a better way to think about it anyway. We don't think about the herbs in terms of, hey, I want to take this herb for this reason. We start thinking about the herbs in terms of here's my body, my mind, my body, my spirit, and okay, what do I need? What do I need to start getting healthy again? What do I need to support my body in becoming different? You guys know we have a different body every 7 years. I mean, it's crazy. So Oh, I didn't know that. Hi, Lynn. Bobby approved app tells you. Holly says, what was the recipe? Clary sage, lavender, and it's okay. I'll tell you again. It's 5 drops of fennel essential oil, which is amazing. 5 drops of clary sage essential oil, also amazing. It's clary sage is actually helpful for women in menopause too. 10 drops of sweet marjoram, 10 drops of lavender, and 5 drops of Roman chamomile, and that's all in 1 ounce of olive oil or another carrier oil of your choice. Okay. Gigi says, hi, Heidi, I appreciate your content. Thank you. Question, have you used castor oil in your oil infusions versus olive oil? Is there a problem using it because of the ricinoleic acid? There's not, actually. You can use it. The problem with castor oil as a carrier for your herbal infusions is that it's really viscous. It's so thick. And oil has trouble extracting constituents anyway from the herbs. So essential oils are different because the essential oils they're lipophilic, and so they really love oil and they blend nicely into a carrier oil. And when you're putting herbal matter into an oil, like I have this big jug of, actually I'll show you this calendula in oil, and it's infused very nicely. You can see how golden it is. It used to be green. This is olive oil. But when you are infusing your plant matter, it's hard for the oil to pull out the constituents. It takes a little bit of warmth. It takes some agitation for best results. And the castor oil is extra difficult because it's thick. So if you want to use castor oil in your herbal infusions, I always suggest to cut it with some olive oil or with a thinner oil like maybe grapeseed oil, because that's a pretty thin oil. And that's what I would suggest. NG says, I've made hops tincture for pain. Awesome. I love hops. Our hops are actually ready to harvest right now. I'm going to be distilling them. I'm going to try to get some essential oil in my new still. I have something caught in my throat. But I love hops. Hops, both the essential oil and the plant, they contain a chemical called B-caryophyllene, and it's really incredible in terms of helping with pain relief and also just being relaxing. And did you know hops are actually a cousin of the hemp plant? So it's a Humulus lupulus is a cousin, and it's wonderful. Let's see, what is a daily dose I recommend for fibromyalgia? So, NG, this is another thing about the differences between using herbs and drugs. Okay, we don't really have a specific dose. And again, that's because we look at every person individually. So here's the way the doctors think about it. Doctors will tell you on a box of a drug, they'll say, an adult dose is 2 capsules every 4 hours or whatever, right? That's what they tell you. And they base that information on, first of all, a man, not a woman, who's 150 pounds, okay? That is what they're calling the average adult. And so here we are. Here you are, you're a woman, or you're a man, whatever, but maybe you only weigh 100 pounds. Or maybe you weigh 300 pounds. Maybe you're like 6'5" and you're a large man. So is the dose going to be the same? The box is telling you it is, right? But is it really? So with herbalism, what we do is we do something called titrating the dosage. I actually have, I'll try to remember to, in fact, maybe I can find it here. I have a free sheet on dosing. Let me see if I can locate it. But what we do is we start small and then we go ahead and we'll increase the amount that we want to take. And like something like hops is really safe. You know, there are a few people who might be allergic to it. I've never met anybody. But other than that, it's a very, very safe herb and you can actually take quite a lot of it and there's no real side effects. You know, you're going to be relaxed a little bit and the pain is going to be helped, but you want to be starting with, for an average adult person, about a half a teaspoon. And if you've got it in a dropper like this, the dropper amount is usually going to look like that. Okay, it's not a full entire dropper. You want to take 3 of those, and that's about a half a teaspoon. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, I love hops. Let me find that dosing guide for you guys. Yeah, here it is. Awesome. This will just help you, like if you're working with your own tinctures or your own herbal teas or things like that. This little guide that I just put the link in here for you, it's free. It can actually help you figure things out. So if you're working with a child, if you're working with a big man versus an average person, then this will help you out. Even if you're dosing for pets, be sure the pets can take the herb that you're dealing with. But if you want to be sure you're going by weight, all right. So if you're dealing with like a little 10-pound cat, you're going to do different things than if you're dealing with a 100-pound Labrador retriever. And that's going to be different than if you're, like I said, dealing with a 200-pound person. So it's very, very different. The other thing I'm going to put in here, because we're about halfway through, I want to invite you all again to please join me in the 5 best herbs. I'm going to write the title of that in here. This is a free training. And we're going to talk about these herbs and I'm going to share with you the medicinal values and practical uses, and you get a free guide that comes with it. I'm doing 2 sessions next week. One's on Tuesday, one's on Thursday. They're free, and they have a replay. So if you can't make it, the only way you can get the replay is if you sign up. So anyway, here you go. This book comes with it, and I just put the link in the chat. Okay, and I also put the link in the chat for the dosing guidelines. And if you look at the URL, you can tell which one is which right there. All right, let me see. I'll see if I can answer a couple more questions here, and then I'm going to do our next comparison. I think you're going to like this next one too. All right. Carrie's asking about seasonal allergies. Antihistamines dry me out, and I only take them if I absolutely have to. Which herbs and essential oils will support my body so I can breathe and not have itchy eyes and nose? There are so many. there are many. So first off, some herbs have natural antihistamines, like nettle leaf is one of those. Nettle leaf contains quercetin, and if you take it about a month or 2 before your allergies start, then your body's going to build up the histamine in your body, or the antihistamine, so that it's going to help when you have allergy season. And some people now just buy quercetin over the counter, but why not just take the herb? It's super, and nettle is like really, really inexpensive. So that's one. Another thing you can try that is more has immediate results is a combination of mullein and marshmallow. So that's a tincture. You use equal parts of mullein, equal parts of marshmallow, make a tincture, or you can make a tea too. And what that combination does, it's really pretty amazing. Like, I'm always amazed. Like, I'll share it with my friends and they're like, wow, this is wonderful. And they're both super safe. There are no side effects to these herbs at all. Mullein is a weed and grows everywhere. Marshmallow grows in many, many places. And by the way, if you don't have marshmallow growing near you, you might have hollyhocks, or you might be able to grow hollyhocks. Hollyhock flowers are 100% interchangeable with the marshmallow, the whole plant. So that's really good to know. But mullein marshmallow tincture is amazing. Mullein is actually known as the king of the respiratory herbs. It supports the upper respiratory system and the lower respiratory system, and it's gentle. And it just really helps build lung strength, and it helps with seasonal allergies. The marshmallow is exceptionally soothing. It's a demulcent, so it's actually a moistening herb, which it seems kind of counterintuitive. Here you've got these inflamed, sinus passages, but what the marshmallow does is it soothes those mucous membranes. It calms them down. And so the combination between the mullein and the marshmallow is just incredible. And if you want to boost it up a little bit more, add some peppermint. Just throw in some peppermint leaves. And especially if you're making the tea, you can breathe in those aromatics. And man, that's a solid allergy helper right there. Okay. Sorry. Yvette says, what herbs do you use to help lower high blood pressure? I've made a tincture of thistleweed and also cinnamon capsules. Yvette, so this is a great question. And this goes back to, how we work with individuals. All right. So, and also root cause. So remember holistic thinking. We just talked about that a minute ago, versus allopathic thinking, which is how medical doctors think about the body, which is just in terms of symptoms and pieces and parts. Okay. And a holistic view is all of it: mind, body, spirit. Okay. So when we're thinking about high blood pressure, one of the things I like to do is, when I'm working with a client, especially, we'll dive deeply into lifestyle and stress and genetics and, any medications and things like that. So we try to find out, okay, why is the high blood pressure happening? Why is it there? And then at that point, we work on the root cause. At the same time, we're going to do things that we know can help support lowering the blood pressure. And some of these things are going to be taking herbs, using essential oils, breathing exercises, lifestyle changes like diet and exercise, and things like that. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is, I actually talked about in a YouTube video how I personally manage my own. Now, again, it may be different than what you would do. All right. So I just want to stress that. And I can't just, get on there and say, oh, you do this and this and this and this, and it's going to take care of the problem. No, because we have to look at the individual person. But I did share what I personally do on a daily basis to support my own blood pressure. And mine genetically runs high. And on top of that, I know like back in the day, boy, I was taking all these drugs, really not illegal ones. They were all legal. They were all over the counter or prescriptions, and they were raising blood pressure, some of them significantly. And then there were the supplements as well that were FDA approved, things that contained ephedra. And I think over time, between stress and taking some of these pills, and then my genetics, my blood pressure was really high, and it's been really, really high for a very, very long time. And when I turned to herbs, I actually did try going on blood pressure meds, and it didn't lower my blood pressure very much at all. And I got edema, and I had to take a diuretic. And I thought, yeah, I'm not going down the path of starting to take more drugs for the side effects. And I said, yeah, no, not doing that. And I just turned to natural methods. Here's the thing, and this is, my own personal philosophy. I'm a Christian, but I do believe very strongly that, God's going to take us when he's going to take us. I mean, we don't have any control over that. You know, our goal is to feel good, right? For as long as we're here in this world. And that's just my own personal philosophy. Nobody's going to live forever. I mean, you have a 100% chance of dying. So just want to just throw that out there. I hope I didn't offend anybody by sharing that, but if you are comfortable with what's going to happen afterwards, then it's okay. Let's see here. Anyway, Yvette, sorry. Go ahead and if you go to my YouTube channel and search in the channel for hypertension or blood pressure, that video should come up, and I talked about it pretty completely. Okay. Yeah, Myra says standardization of medicine has financial benefits for this pharmaceutical industry. It's less profitable to tailor medicine to each individual. It is. It's not profitable at all, to be honest. They can't. That's why, and we've all gotten used to things being quote unquote standardized, but doesn't that remove the humanity and the individualization of how we're all so different, which is a beautiful thing. So yes, but you're right. It's a money thing for sure. Let's see here. Any herb that is good for breaking down fibrous tissues like corns or warts. Yes, there are some that you can use, especially essential oils. And there's one specifically that's really helpful, and it's not coming to my mind right now. But I want to mention, I really love things like comfrey for situations like that, like a nice compress. And then tea tree might be helpful. Garlic on warts can be really helpful too. Garlic is a hot herb, so it can burn the skin. So you want to be really careful and maybe infuse some in some oil. And you can also buy garlic essential oil too. But those are some thoughts on that. Oh, Be Youthful Body Bath and Body Co. That's Kath. Hi, Kath. I hope that business is going great. We need natural products like crazy. So I love supporting natural product companies. Oh, Joe says the link didn't show up. Did you guys? Can anybody else not see it? I'll add it back in again in a minute. Holly says for allergies we use lavender, lemon, and peppermint essential oils. Perfect in a roller bottle. 10 drops each, filled with a carrier oil. I also do a teaspoon of local honey for allergies, and that's from Tammy, and that's wonderful too. Honey is incredible. We're going to be talking more about honey, if not tomorrow, Monday. I can't remember what day I had that, but honey's just wonderful. Yes, Myra says acupuncture also works extremely well for high blood pressure. It works extremely well for a lot of things. That's another modality that, we need to look at all of them. There's a lot of really wonderful things we can do. I guess one of the reasons why I love the herbalism is because I can be in control of what I can grow out here. I can grow literally almost everything I need. And then our little herb farm that's up on the hill, I think we have access to, if I count all the things we can forage, over 115, 120-ish herbs. So it's really pretty amazing, not to have to go to the store to buy things. We all just need to learn how to use the herbs that God made for us. He made these plants for us. Let's see here. Gigi says, Heidi, I'm new to the world of herbalism. Can you talk a bit about the differences between infusions and essential oils? Absolutely. Yes. So a lot of people don't know the difference, and they will just assume that this is the same as an essential oil. Do I have an essential oil here? Yes, I do. This is one I actually distilled. Wonder which one this is. I'm going to give it a whiff here. I love smelling my... Yes, this was peppermint. I distilled some peppermint in the kitchen right here using one of my little stills, and it's wonderful. This essential oil is so strong. It's crazy great. Anyway, yes, I want to tell you a quick story about that. I found uh, the site from a lady in Alaska. She was selling, I think it was Devil's Club, and she said it was essential oil. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. So I was looking at her site, and she was describing her process, and what she was describing was an infusion. So it wasn't an essential oil. So the with an infusion, you put the fresh, or not super fresh, you want it to be dried so you don't get moisture in your oil. It's super important. But you put your plant matter in the jar, you pour your oil of choice over the top, and I personally like to set it in a kind of a warm place, like a little warm window or something, not where it's being blasted by the sun, but where it's getting some gentle heat, because that helps the plant release its constituents into the oil. And then you just shake it every now and then. And after about 4 to 6 weeks, you have a lovely herbal infusion. So that's an infusion. With an essential oil, and by the way, you will get a little tiny bit of the essential oil, the aromatics in the infusion, but not very much, okay? Usually it doesn't smell very strongly. With an essential oil, you use a lot of plant matter, okay? This little bit of essential oil that I was able to yield took about, I'm going to just use my hands, probably a couple pounds maybe of peppermint, all right, to distill. So I love it. Anyway, what you do is you steam distill this, and then it goes through, I'm teaching this actually right now in our aromatherapy certification course. But the steam rises up through the plant matter, and it carries the essential oils, which are really volatile. They're very light molecules. The steam carries them up into what's known as the gooseneck, and then the gooseneck forces the steam down into what's called a condenser. And the condenser has cool water flowing into it that immediately cools the copper tubing. And what ends up happening is you get what's known as a hydrosol. And I don't have any with here. It's in the fridge over here. Maybe I should go get it for you. But a hydrosol is the byproduct of the distillation process. And what happens is if you have a separator attached, then the essential oil separates to the top. And then you can get the essential oil out and away from the hydrosol. And that's the difference. It's a completely different extraction method. Oh, I love that. Completely different extraction method. And you're yielding a completely different product. Totally different products here, right? Very, very different. Okay. But yeah, it's easy to get them confused. Oh, Carrie's asking Holly why this works for allergies. And Holly, I think you shared the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I can talk about that really fast. The lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And can I please just talk about quality really fast of essential oils? This is so important. I mean, okay, we can see the plant matter that we're using for our infusions and herbal extractions. We know if it's quality or not, or at least we can get a sense. With essential oils, we have a little liquid, a little mystery liquid in a bottle. Where did it come from? What, is it pure? Has it been adulterated? And adulteration, you guys, is massively a huge problem in the market right now. It's this is nuts. But did you know that there's data that says that there's less lavender essential oil being sold now? Okay, this is coming from like lavender farms, but the reality is that there's more lavender essential oil being sold now. And that's because most of it, they think about 90% of it on the market is adulterated with synthetics. And that's very, very dangerous, especially when some people think it's okay to ingest the essential oil. So I want to share that with you. On my website, I have a list of companies that I've personally vetted, that I personally buy from. I'm getting ready to add another one. I just came across, every time I come across a company I think is good, I actually buy the essential oil, and I've been doing this long enough to know, usually I can tell when something's adulterated or not. You get a sense of that. And then I look at their sourcing, their sustainability, how they, work with the farmers, which is hugely important, and how their labeling is. Do they tell you where it's coming from? And if you don't have a country of origin, well, right there, it's coming into a big vat from everywhere all over the place, and who knows even what's in it. Please don't buy third-party labels, okay? That's little businesses who purchase from these massive bulk essential oil companies, and they relabel it under their own brand. That's very, very dangerous. I can almost guarantee you're getting a substandard product. I can guarantee it, actually, knowing what I know at this point. So yeah, but go to my website. In the Getting to Know You or Get to Know Us tab on my website, there's a place that's called Shopping Guide. And if you click on that shopping guide, scroll about halfway down, you'll see a list of really good essential oil companies, and you can price shop there. I'm not an affiliate for most of them. I don't make any money by sharing them. I just feel so strongly that people need to be buying quality essential oils, that, don't bother buying them unless you're buying quality. Okay, back to lavender, lemon, and peppermint for allergies. So the lavender's calming. All right. That's probably its number one helper in terms of the allergies. Also, lavender has compounds that support the respiratory system. Peppermint contains menthol, and the peppermint tends to open nasal passages while it's cooling as well. And if your sinuses are inflamed, that's a hot condition. So the peppermint goes to work and supports the cooling of that. The lemon is pretty amazing. Lemon calms and soothes as well. But guess what else it does? It contains a chemical called limonene, and that limonene goes to work to boost your immune system. It actually helps the immune system create more white blood cells. Now, is that something else again? So here you've got this wonderful combination that is really helpful for seasonal allergies. And by the way, with peppermint, you don't want to use it near the face of children under the age of 10, at least in great quantities, because of the menthol. And it can possibly aggravate the respiratory systems of people with asthma. So just if they have a little reaction to it, then just, keep it away from their noses. Okay. Lynn says, what herbs work with long COVID, or herbs that cleanse the bloodstream? Boosting the immune system is really the best thing that you can do for anything like that. So, and I would say just continually keep taking that elderberry. That's one thing. Diffuse lemon. We just talked about lemon and how it helps support the immune system. The essential oils that contain bee-pinene, like some of your pines, can be really helpful for that too. As far as the bloodstream, what we're talking about there are your alternative herbs. And I've got an article on my website. If you go to Healing Harvest Homestead and then type in, go to Google and type it separately, then that article will show up, and type in alternative. And it's not alternative, it's alterative. I will spell it here for you. And that's not a mistake. But those kinds of herbs help cleanse the blood. Specifically to any herb that works on the liver is going to be supportive of the nice, clear, detoxed body and bloodstream. So burdock root, dandelion root are pretty much two of my favorites. Milk thistle is incredible. Now, milk thistle, you can't drink that in a tea form. You need to be sure that you're ingesting it. So I want to share that with you too. Oh, good. Bonnie says she can see the links. Awesome. Kath says, it's going very well. I have added so many things to my line since taking Ditch the Drugstore. That's awesome. Good. Good. And then Joe's got the link for the 5 Herbs webinar. Awesome. And oh, good. Joyanne says, hi, Heidi. Have you heard of mistletoe extract for, I'm not going to say those words here on social media because they're looking for us. They're looking for people talking about that. And then parsley is also amazing. So this is Joy Ann's quote in the chat. It's the C word, one of the C words. And I have not heard of mistletoe extract for that, but do some research on that. And there are other herbs too. Frankincense is one to look into. Yeah, Holly says, agreed. Quality oils are so important. I use Young Living essential oils. And you know what? I'm not a distributor. And I think you have to be a little cautious of the MLMs, the multi-level marketing companies, because of the information. But I will say that Young Living's oils are amazing. They have very high quality products. And so does doTERRA for that matter, too. Oh, good. The neighborhood gardener. I missed the tribe chat. So happy to be here. I'm happy you're here too. The tribe chat turned out really good as usual. So be sure you catch the replay of that. Okay. Let's see here. Nothing to do with essential oils, but your skin is glowing. Do you have any skincare recommendations? I do. I try to make my own, but to be honest, I have not had time in a while now. I do like lemongrass spa products. They're very natural, or as you know, natural is a continuum when it comes to skincare. You can make your own and be super, super natural, or you can make your own and still be putting preservatives and things in them. It's totally up to you. But what you make is still going to be more natural than what you're probably going to buy. And in terms of like natural products, the best ones I found that still work are lemongrass spa, and I really like them. I actually am a distributor for them, but I don't ever talk about it. I just really like their products, and if you're a distributor, you get 25% off, and I'm like, hey, why not? I'll just get my 25% off. You can find that link on my website too, under the Get to Know Us tab. I think there's a place that says beauty or something like that. So I really like that company a lot. I think they have good values too. Let's see. Holly says, thank you for sharing why lemon, lavender, and peppermint works for allergies. I didn't know why. We have just experienced that it works. A lot of people will do that. You'll go and you'll find a recipe online and you try it and it works and you're like, wow, this works. Try to find out why it works. It's really powerful when you guys, and I like to teach that. I like to share why things work. Carolyn says, can I use African marigold as I would calendula? Do you know, I would need to know the Latin name of the African marigold, but I'm going to say probably not. Calendula is actually not a marigold, it's a calendula. And marigold is usually a tagetes species, I believe. So they're very different plants. Yeah, mistletoe is not to be digested or ingested. Nada says, was just typing the question you're answering. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you guys. Well, we answered a lot of questions. We're at 2 minutes before 4 o'clock. I'm going to answer this one last question, and then I'm just going to entice you to come back tomorrow. We will start with the drug that we were going to talk about today, tomorrow. And I've got a few more of these to talk about too. They're exciting. Did you guys enjoy learning about the differences between Midol and a menstrual cramp massage blend? Let me know in the chat if you liked that, because I love doing these comparisons. If you enjoyed it, I'll do some more. Let's see. Nada says, can you use these oils in a diffuser for allergies as well? You sure can. Yeah. Pop them in your diffuser. And I love diffusing respiratory supporting essential oils. They open you up. They tend to be energizing as well. So that helps with your focus and things like that. And then, do you ever buy from Frontier Co-op? Actually, I don't. And I have nothing bad to say about them, actually. I know a lot of people enjoy their products. But I notice that's the company that's being sold in the bulk grocery stores. And that gives me a little bit of pause. Like, how high of quality are they? And usually, not all the time, but there's a lot of powders and things. And I tend not to buy powders. I like to buy the cut and sifted leaves. I want to see the plant. And that way I know more about what it is. Let's see. Lydia says, love you and miss the lives. Thanks, Lydia. I need to start doing more lives here on YouTube. I'm going to try to, once this next couple months is done and over with, I've got a lot going on. I'm going to try to start doing at least one a month, maybe two. And I got the membership, and I know I need to like get in there and start doing them in there too for members. All right, you guys, remember, join us for the 5 Best Herbs webinar. Let's see. Oh, good. Oh, my link doesn't work? Oh. Well, I put it in there again. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, Joe's got it. You know what? You can go to my homepage at www.healingharvesthomestead.com. I've got a banner on there right at the top for the webinar. Okay, so you can find it that way too and get signed up. And I will see you next week, hopefully at the workshop. And here's the book that comes with it. It's free. And all right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. And we will talk some more about herbs versus drugs. And I'll answer some more questions too. All right. Bye-bye.